These three beauties, we will be using them tomorrow. We're waking up in probably 8 hours from now. Them on a medieval festival that me and my wife are going to Chudów, Silesia, a beautiful town and castle in Silesia. We'll be actually having our own stand over there, where we'll be selling the maps. For example, this map is called Polonia and Silesia. So it shows Poland and Silesia. It's really an interesting map because it was one of the first maps showing Poland and it was done by the legend of the cartography Gerard Mercator, and it was created in 1585, so around the time that the castle that we are going into was created. We're also taking a map of the world that is just simply looking like a nice additional wall. You know, it's nothing specific, so if you're not a fan of a specific nation, specific period, just having this beauty is a nice thing to have on your walls. Of course, we're also taking one of our best sellers, so map of the world in the 1444. We went to a castle week in Lviv, and that map was the most interesting for whom? For the kids. Kids see a lot of colors, they want to take their parents, and some of the kids actually convinced their parents to buy this. We also have prepared a map of Poland, which is our absolute bestseller, but I'm gonna show it to you on our stand once we arrive there. So based on our last week's experience, we prepared 18 maps, where 4 of the maps with the blue dots are the maps of 1444. 4 maps are for the Polonia and Silesia. 2 maps will be of the small frame. I will see you in the morning. The car is fully packed. Easels, the table, chairs. Obviously the maps are inside there. If we go from the side, a hat, and all of the maps are in here. That's gonna be a roughly 3 hours drive ahead of us. So we should arrive there an hour before the start of the event. 304 kilometers to go. We just ran some checks on the castle that we're going to, which is called Chudów. What it turned out, it wasn't even built by Poles. It was not a Polish castle originally. It was actually sitting on the Polish border of the Habsburg monarchy. It was on the Silesian side, that was at the time not Polish. And it wasn't a castle built by the country for its defenses, even though it was on the border. It was a castle that was something between a castle and residency built by the local nobility for their own use. And it was the Silesian nobility that built it around the end of the 16th century. There goes the castle. It's obviously mostly the ruins nowadays. I was reading a joke that the castle survived many wars, but one thing that it did not survive was a fire around the end of the 19th century. Similarly to our previous week trip to Lviv, we also had a small stamp where we used our own table, obviously the 4 maps that I was showing earlier, with 3 of them being framed and one, the Sobieski map, being put up front on the table. We obviously not much experience in this kind of event, so we don't have any tent yet, but that tent will be of huge use because there was a lot of sun on that day, and while at the beginning of the event we still had a little bit of shadow, it wasn't that good later on. That's why I also did not wear my hat. What I love about this event is people coming in, looking closely at the maps and discussing them with you. We've got plenty of such discussions both here and during our trip to the Zlewikk castle. The stands were just the background for the whole event, which was the medieval festival. While we were doing our job, all around there were happening many activations, including the Knights tournament. Various medieval games also for the kids. They also saw a group from Serbia doing an agility demonstration. Their name is, I believe, Svibor. Finally, just when we were leaving the whole festival, there was a little of concert of the folk music. That was the whole event. Overall, I would say there weren't that many people, not as many as we expected and not as many as we saw in the previous week in another castle, but we still very enjoyed that trip. And let me know, guys, if you would like to see more of this kind of the videos itself that are not just purely gameplay, but also talking about the maps and actual vlogs about these maps. In the meantime, make sure to check our store strategymaps.co, where you can find over 190 maps, not only just the few that you could see in that video.